the best-selling author of the book, How to Talk to Strangers, Ms. Tammy L. Turner. Innovative and determined are understatements when it comes to describing this best-selling author of How to Talk to Strangers. For her, success is not an option, it's a must. While some know her as the queen of networking, others know her as a phenomenal entrepreneur and community developer. After serving over 6 years in the field of public accounting firms such as Arthur Andersen and Deloitte and Touche, Tammy Turner realized that her true passion was in the field of human resources. More specifically, she wanted to personally help place people in various positions of employment. As such, she worked as a recruiter for Robert Half Finance and Accounting and a senior recruiter for Quicken Loans, Rock Financial. In 2004, Tammy was able to travel overseas to Cambodia, where she worked at the International School of Fin, ISPP, and as a recruiting consultant for UNICEF and HR Inc., Cambodia. The experience and training over those 2.5 years capitulated her into starting her own professional recruiting business in 2006. After she returned to the United States in 2007, Tammy was able to launch her second recruiting business, Capstone Recruiting and Training Services, LLC. Seeking to grow the business globally, she has aspirations to open another Capstone recruiting office in Singapore in 2012. Her debut book, How to Talk to Strangers, a step-by-step guide to professional networking, is a vital tool for any business professional looking to go to the next level. Your mother may have told you not to talk to strangers, but Tammy teaches you how to talk to them. So please, let's welcome our keynote speaker, Ms. Tammy L. Turner.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can see I need to invest in an iPad. Happy Administrative Professionals Day to each and every one of you. I'd first and foremost like to thank Victoria Edwards, the Detroit chapter president, for inviting me out here today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And it's an honor and a privilege to be standing here today before so many dynamic women, and I see a couple men in the audience too. Dynamic men and women who serve as the backbone, the structure, the gatekeeper, the glue that holds it all together, and as your theme states today, the pulse of the office, administrative professionals. And what I'd like for you guys to do is to give yourselves a hand and your colleagues a hand. On the outside looking in, being an administrative professional seems like such an easy job to so many people. So to some people, all you do is kind of simply sit behind a desk all day and you're planning on a calendar, maybe slip some solitaire in here or there when no one's looking. Well, am I right? Play on the internet a little bit? Well, I'm here to tell you that it isn't. In the beginning of my career, I worked as an administrative professional as well. Started out as a secretary, eventually, became an administrative assistant or executive assistant, and then, transitioned into some other career opportunities. And I can tell you firsthand that it's not an easy job. But you guys already know that. But it is certainly a rewarding job. It was rewarding for me because I had the opportunity to contribute to the bottom line. But in many cases, we do all the work but receive none of the glory. And that's okay, because we know that we are contributing to the bottom line. Which is why I believe, why 70 years ago, that it was important to not only recognize you, but also offer you an opportunity to grow within your profession, which is what I.A.A.P has done. and provide educational resources, knowledge sharing, and professional networking. And I've heard that word networking like several times today as I've sat over there and, on the dais. So it's my pleasure to be able to speak with you about networking today and how you can build business relationships. So your work as an administrative professional is invaluable to the companies that you work for and the individuals that you support. As administrative professionals, not only are you the gatekeepers, but you're also oftentimes the peacekeepers, okay? You help to keep peace by ensuring that everything runs like a fine-tuned machine. You build reports, you manage calendars, you create presentations, you set up conference rooms, you coordinate events, you schedule meetings, you process expense reports, you type correspondence. You can stop me at any time. You type correspondence, you respond to emails, you keep track of time, and you do it well. In an effort to help you to continue to grow in your professions, today I'm here to talk to you about the power of networking. Now, I realize that people often wince at the very thought of networking and kind of imagine that it's like taking a trip to the dentist and going to get a root canal. Well, let me assure you, it's not that painful, and your mouth will not be numb afterwards, okay? Networking, by definition, is the act of building, growing, developing, nurturing mutually beneficial business relationships. And it is the single most effective tool used to advance your career, bar none. Is there anyone in the room today that has ever heard the phrase, "It's not what you know, it's who you know"? Okay, I actually heard that phrase quite a bit growing up and during my first couple of years of college. But I didn't really grasp that concept until my first job in corporate America. Now let me assure you, I was not born with the networking gene, okay? I had more of the please don't come over here and talk to me gene, or the I have no idea what to say to you gene. I had those genes. And I was the person that was at an event standing off in the corner trying to look real busy. I was like kind of on my phone. I might even have my "Don't Talk to Me" t-shirt on. And it wasn't that I was antisocial, I was just afraid. I was afraid of networking because I didn't really know what to say. I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know how to initiate conversation. And that was one of the things that over the course of my career that I realized more often than not that terrifies people about networking. They just don't know what to say. They don't know how to walk up to a perfect stranger and how to start talking, okay? But the wake-up call for me was when I began to see other people that were in my start group surpass me in their careers. And I had to say to myself, wow, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And what they were doing was learning to build business relationships. And so I wanted to emulate that behavior. I didn't want to become them, but I wanted to emulate the success that I saw that they had. And so I had to learn how to talk to people. I had to learn how to build business relationships. Because I got in the back of my mind, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So the people that I was watching, as I said before, they had a knack for developing and nurturing business relationships. And that's what I wanted to do. And really what they did is they invested time into networking. And the key word there is invest. Networking is an investment. It's an investment where the benefits certainly outweigh the cost. So they invested time into networking, developing relationships within their organizations. They took an active interest in their colleagues, their partners, and subordinates if they had any. And what I realized is that I wanted to achieve that success and the success that I saw that they had. And so I wanted to emulate that behavior. And as I said before, I wasn't trying to be them, but I wanted the success that they had. So for me, networking was a learned behavior. It's something I had to learn how to do. I had to learn how to get out of my shell and go and talk to people. And that wasn't an easy task. But once I kind of got in the rhythm and got in the swing of it, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And you learn so much about so many people, and you realize that you have so many similarities. And you create a bond, and oftentimes these bonds last a lifetime. Now, let me share this. I often coin networking as a skill that schools forgot to teach, okay? Just by a quick show of hands, how many people in this room took a course, an actual course in school on networking? Take a quick look around the room. No one? But it's the single most effective tool used to advance your career. I always thought that was very odd, even in business schools, that networking is not being taught. You know, as a college credit, you get 3 credit hours to learn how to network. It's a skill that we need to know. I don't care what industry you're in, what profession you're in, whether you're self-employed, whether you're working in an office environment, you need to know how to build relationships. So, for me, one of the things that causes people to view networking like the root canal, as I said before, is that they just don't know what to say, or they have that fear of being rejected. So basically, how do you walk up to a perfect stranger and initiate conversation? Well, what I encourage people to do is first and foremost to find a common bond, okay? So for example, today, your common bond is what? I.A.A.P, exactly. You're a part of an organization. You're also administrative professionals. Anyone else? Any other common bond?
You probably got a bunch of emails from Victoria.
Yeah, got a bunch of emails from Victoria. How about we're all at the Imagine Theater in Royal Oak? We're all occupying the same space at the same time. Is that a common bond?
Yeah.
So I walked up to someone today and said, hey, is this the first time you've ever been to the Imagine Theater? Did I initiate conversation? Okay, and that person's response will let me know where to go with the conversation from there. So I believe it's safe to say that no one in this room knows every single other person in this room, correct?
Correct.
All right, so a great way to initiate conversation by using the common bond approach that I just mentioned is for you to approach someone else in this room and ask them, are they a member of I.A.A.P? Okay? And if they're not, then of course you're going to lobby to get them to sign up, correct? I don't know which division or which chapter. Whether it's going to be Northville or it's going to be Troy or Detroit. But you're going to talk about the benefits of being a part of this organization and encourage them to participate, correct? So that's one common bond approach. The other common bond approach is, hi, is this your first time ever attending or being at the Imagine Theater in Royal Oak? And then you start conversation from there. And I come to find out, you know, it wasn't their first time here, and I was actually here just on Saturday to see a movie, Think Like a Man, and I have to tell you, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Excellent movie. I laughed till I cried.